Hi friends, this is Chris with Josephine's Designs. I am back with a project that I hope I wanted to share with you some very economical alternatives to planners. I am a huge planner person. You guys know that. I've worked for a planner company and I've been on a couple of design teams and I have really, really enjoyed it. My love of planners will probably never end. I'll always love using planners. They're just efficient, they're wonderful, but I know a lot of people, that's not their gig. I know that it can be expensive, and I totally get that. So I've got a planner video coming. I'm going to work on this. When I got sick, I did the minimum amount of planning possible. And it had a lot to do with I still had obligations to the design team I was still on, but I also knew that I wasn't doing anything, so there's some that I'll go back and fill in, especially my Hobonichi. And then there are some that I use for journaling, and some of those got done, some of them did not. So keeping it real, being honest, even a planner girl doesn't use her planner every day. Yes, I know that some people will say, then you're not a real planner girl. Maybe, but I think that as we look at the priorities in our life, we have to think those things through, right? Okay. All right, I'm getting my cup of, my sip of tea, my sip of coffee, if I'd open it. Just made it, and it's nice and hot. Okay. So, sorry guys, I'm bumping it. I've got an alarm going off. I'm hoping I got it turned off. All right. So, and just so you know, this is what happens when you get busy. I don't know if you guys ever do this, but I literally was making my peach iced tea and my coffee at the same time. I pulled out, because I was making tea for this mug. I'd already made a picture of tea, and I was talking to my daughter, and I pulled out the peach iced tea and poured it in my coffee, like probably 2 tablespoons. And I looked at her, and this is my second cup of coffee. I use my pods twice through. I'm really cheap. But anyways, she goes, oh no. And I said, well, I'll taste it. Because I'm too cheap to throw it out. And I looked at her and I said, it's different, but not bad. It's doable. So anyways, okay. So I am back with 3 tools that were very inexpensive. So what I want to share with you is I've got some file folder labels from the Dollar Tree, and this is back when they were $1. I bought these. They have just lasted forever in my stash. These are 2 little notebooks that have 4 divisions each, and I don't know where I got these from. I want to think they were sent to me, but they may have also come from like Dollar General. And if not, Dollar General sells things like this. They usually range anywhere from $2.50 to $3.50. I mean, they're never crazy priced. I would say, I hope I didn't pay for this, because the only complaint I have is this back page is cardboard cardboard. I'm going to put a finish on it because it already wants to peel up. It already wants to curl up, bend, all of that. And we all know I'm going to be really hard on these babies. All right. And then lastly, this is in my stash. I literally unwrapped it this morning. I got it for $3 at the Target dollar spot years ago. But you can make this, months and dates. That's all it is. So I just wanted to share with you what I'm thinking. So right now, what I've done in each one of these, so this one I set up for Josephine's Designs, and just to show you how this works, this was a little pin I got with my cover for my my Samsung tablet. It doesn't, why do they make tablets without a holder? There's my question for you. Wouldn't it be brilliant that when you sell a cover that you have a place to put the pin in? I know. Anyways, it's a nice little thin pin. I thought it might fit down in. It didn't, but that's okay. And it has a stylus on the end, but I'll probably never use that stylus one time. So, gotta be honest. So this one is for my Josephine's Designs. I got the first section, which doesn't really have a tab. It is my Bible study, Bible journaling. And I have not started working in here hardly at all. The second stash is my, hold on. Oh, giveaways and sales. So I am terrible about tracking that kind of thing. I've had it on sticky notes and I got to quit. It just is not effective for me. It doesn't work. So I need to keep a running list. I've got one giveaway I need to mail right now from the channel. And so, yeah. And that had a lot to do with not being able to read comments too. So anyways, I also have a section for Stampin' Up, different projects I want to make. And then, which I have those in a stack in the office, which I went out yesterday morning and got all that organized. I have a bunch to take out, but at least what's there is I can walk inable. There's stacks for me to film, and then there's stacks for me to make. And that works great for me. For now, it won't eventually, but for now it does. Then I also have the cottage and storage. So we have my cottage, which was supposed to be where I would be doing all my stuff. And as my husband and I went through the pandemic, even though he's here 24/7, there were lots of things that went on. And as time went on, he had set up these desks that some we paid for at an auction for pennies on the dollar. And then some we were just given because we were there at the end, and what didn't get sold, they were like, if you want it, take it. So we literally took enough desk chairs to put around our dining room table, and I bought inexpensive covers on Amazon. I mean, there were all kinds of things that I did. And the one that I have out there now that's a desk chair cover, I will move to the kitchen. It is not comfortable for me to sit in all day long. And I have a new chair in here that we have to put together, and I think we're going to do that early next week. So, and I have a big project in the kitchen trying to put away all my food storage and get all my preservations going. And so right now, like, I have 2 shrubs going. I've got all these different things going, and we'll talk about that more, but I need that area finished and completed. And my husband even said, do we need to get a chair in there? And I thought, yes, we do. Yes, we do. There's a desk in there that needs a chair once we get everything packed out. And yes, we do. Yes, we do. We forewent a kitchen table years ago. We put in extra fridges and freezers upstairs because at that time we were vegetarian, and we're pretty much going back to that these days. Lunch is all veg. It's all vegetable. Tonight, I would rather not have any meat. I think we're going to make a homemade pizza. And with that, I'm just going to use all the veggies out of the garden and hope that that's enough with some cheese. So, I'm not a meat snob at all, but I also know that my husband's health issues that we've been dealing with here lately, it clearly says that it can cause that issue. And after so many years of not eating meat, and my body doesn't process meat well, I think an occasional bit of meat is fine, especially for him. But for me, I will just, slowly get back off of it. And there's a couple of things that I will enjoy. Don't get me wrong. I love roast brisket, anything like that. And you're probably thinking, well, those are 2 different things, but in my brain, they're very similar. And then, sadly enough, I am enjoying a little bit of bacon every now and then. And so we put them out on the smoker. When we traveled, I cooked in the oven and in the stovetop, and I recognized that I don't like a drop of fat on it. So cooking in the smoker is fantastic. We have a small smoker that we can take with us. It's like a pellet smoker. They are fantastic. And we bought I think it was $400 or $500, and we got ours for $199. It was such a blessing. So anyways, I mean, I just think that there are beautiful, expensive, those out there. We don't need them. We're good with what we have. And yeah, I mean, we're just going to still utilize what we have now. I smoke pizza out there. Like a pizza oven, I'll use as a pizza oven. Matter of fact, that's what I think I'll do tonight because it makes it so good. And then I'll smoke all kinds of veggies, and they're fantastic. They are just fantastic. And since we've been eating tomatoes left and right, and we probably have 5-6 gallons in the kitchen right now. So I'm going to be washing those, getting those ready to go down to the deep freeze so that when I have time, I'll make sauces, and I'll can tomato sauce. And then and it'll just be a pure tomato sauce. And then unless I just feel really compelled because we have so much basil to go ahead and make like, an Italian sauce, I'll do that. But anyways, this is the time of the year where things start to pick up. So having an organizer like this for me is so huge. But so back to the cottage and the storage, we have my cottage. I have no intention of getting in there for another month. My intention is probably by the end of summer. It's hot. And even though the AC is running in there, it's hot. And so my daughter climbed in a couple days ago to lower the temp. She pulled out all my coffee pots. Yay! Speaking of which, I'll have another sip if you don't mind. And she and I are going to go in and clear out the space. When we moved everything out of here, we just put it in there, literally stacked to the door. And that is going to take me, when she takes things in, she does a wonderful job, but she's not exactly efficient with space. And nor is she good at matching like items, even if I have them labeled. So I think at this point, we're going to go back in and I'm going to set up my stations in there. And if we have to take things out in order to get it back in correctly, that's what we're going to do. And then I also have the shipping container my husband bought supposedly for me. He's taken over more than half of it. But we're looking for him as shipping containers. They're coming down in price. I think by fall they'll be down enough that we can purchase another one, Lord willing. Lord willing, he still have a job. Lord willing, we still have income, all of that. We are beginning to recognize that they're just things that are happening and there's nothing we can do about it. We're just going to have to stay focused and keep it lean and keep focused. So, and I have tons of Amazon that my daughter just brought in that I'm preparing with. So lots of herbs and, seeds and things that I don't already have in my stash. I'm picking up now to make sure that I have it for later. I'm going to be making some arnica salve. Here I'm going to begin it, let it sit in the oil for about anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, and then I will turn that into a salve with a little bit of pardon me, beeswax. Pardon me. But in the meantime, I could use the oil, so we'll just see what happens. And then I've got a cordless fan that you just charge, and I wanted that in case we lost electricity. Each paycheck I'll buy 2 more so that our daughter, my husband, and I will each have a fan if we lose electricity. Texas is tough in the summer. And, people carry on like, I don't know how you handle that heat. Well, you got to get tough. And we are very cushy. We live in AC. I keep slowly raising the AC so that it'll be warmer so we can get used to it. My husband works a lot outside. We also have the camper that if we need to, it has a generator. We could go out there and sleep if it gets too hot and we lose electricity. The big, huge issue are our refrigerators and freezers. So I am slowly building out processing of all those fruits and vegetables, anything in there that can be processed, anything that can be cleaned out, anything. And when I clean out, we give to the chickens and the ducks and all of that. But we've had a predator come in and wipe out all of our hens, but wiped out a guinea, what am I trying to say? Rooster, and I'm not sure what else. So we are down, and our egg laying, because the heat has cut down. And so I've got to talk to my husband about how you take care of the poultry. I did all that in FFA and very well versed, so I can help him with that. So things like this, the storage, the cottage can be done, but not the storage. Now, the last thing I had in here, and I thought, why didn't I make a section of this? And I thought, because. So I put down here on the back page a list for YouTube videos. Now, what I normally do on this, when I have a left-sided page, is I'll turn it upside down. I wasn't, I just kind of did it. So anyways, and I did want to show you that I'll put a pocket in the back, and my pockets are out in the office. That's why I didn't make one. I just trimmed it. I trimmed it to fit, and that's what I did. So this I love, and I have not done anything in this one yet, but it's coming. All right, now the first one I really did was the household one. So in the beginning, I have like these lists. Overall, just started just writing stuff down, and then I realized I want to break it down more like a project planner. So once I transfer all that page, then I'll be okay. So I set up my kitchen list and what I need to get done in my kitchen, buckets, which are food storage buckets. My counters, I want to redo my counters. My husband was supposed to replace my island. We have the wood. It was put together. He's been sanding it and he needs to just cut it. And I think he's nervous about cutting it. So, in the meantime, I may get some kind of paint type. My counters are hideous. The kitchen was the one room I hated when we moved in the house, and it's the one room that has yet to really even be addressed well. So they painted up the hideous wallpaper, which I just couldn't stand. But we did kills and then painted it a light yellow. The cabinets all need to be painted. There need to be drawer pull-outs in all of the shelves. They were built in 1938 very primitively by a farmer, and so it's beautiful. I don't want to get rid, because at one point I thought about we'll rip out all the cabinets and put in new, and I thought no, these tell a story and they're beautiful. And he was German, and so the craftsmanship is lovely. But like I have one drawer, if it has too much heavy stuff in it, I literally can't open one of them. It has my Pyrex in it, and I can't open it. My daughter has to. So I think it's time to put some kind of rolling system in for the drawers and in for the shelves. And if I have to pay somebody to do it, I'm going to. I bought all the supplies when we first moved here. My husband said he couldn't do it. So yeah, Mama's going to get it done. Especially since it sounds like we're going to stay here. We have debated as we get older, should we stay here, should we not? And I think the answer is we will. We've lived in this house almost 20 years. And yeah, I mean, it's a part of who we are. We know every little blade of grass, every little tree, every little shrub, every little thing that's been planted. And even though this never felt like our forever home, it may be. And I'm okay with that. And, and anything that we do that improves the kitchen will improve the property value. We've been offered for people to buy the house and rip it down due to all the people moving in. And, we're always welcome. We always welcome people to Texas, but we don't mind as long as they don't change Texas. And I think that's true. My husband wasn't born and raised here in this state, but he's a Texan, and he's fiercely protective of Texas and the values. And I mean, he's lived here longer than anywhere else, and, it's important to know that, gosh, he's been here for 40 years. Yeah. Anyway, so, as you go through this part of your life, you have to think through, how and where and why and will and all that good stuff. So, our daughter and my husband will be renovating a mini house. So, all those things will kind of probably fall in here somewhere. But right now, yeah, that's their project. So, and then I put the armoire. I have an armoire. There's not much storage in my kitchen because it is a 1938 farmhouse. So an armoire is what I put in there, and I put shelves in there, but they don't go all the way across. So I don't know, when I have somebody come out and do the cabinets, I might just have them build a system of shelves in there, and that way I'll take out the other ones, I'll use them somewhere else. Actually, they'll match what I have in the kitchen right now as additional shelving, and I'll be able to put things I'm growing through the windows, that kind of a deal. I literally cut up a head of romaine, save the bottom, it's organic, lightly trimmed the very bottom of it, and set it in a little mushroom tub with a paper towel and water in it, and it'll regrow. So I'll get, a little bit more lettuce out of that head. So kind of just using what we have and reusing. So try to be smart. So bathroom, the drawers and the cabinet my husband put in. We first got here, it was a pedestal sink. You don't get any, it's horrible, the storage. So we replaced it with just an inexpensive on sale vanity, has a little country feel to it. From probably Lowe's. It has drawers. When we set it up, I put everything in. It's time to now kind of, pull it all out, toss what you don't need, give to somebody else, and just scrub it out and start over. And that's where I've got to do that. The closet has to be emptied. So in certain places in our house, in the kitchen, above the pantry, in our bathroom, above the closet, and in the our son's room, there are cubby holes that they have literally put an extra cabinet in, and you can store things. So in my son's old room, which became the craft room, which will soon be the guest bedroom or the laundry room, it will be, I'll empty all that out. I know he never emptied it. So I have to empty the one in the bathroom. I know that there are things stored in there that I will make Christmas gifts out of this year, very specifically Christmas gifts. So I'm trying to use, they were brand new, bought on sale. I bought them and stored them, and now I'll pull them back out and I'll use them and make gifts. Let's see. There within the closet, there's like a left shelf and a right shelf, and then there's a rod with a, looks like a closet, with a, like you'd hang things in there, with a shelf above that, plus a hole in the floor that if you want to drop your laundry down through it. We did that for a season. We're not doing that anymore. So, and pretty soon if we get the washer dryer upstairs, yeah, no, So anyways, but the left side needs to be it all needs to be emptied. It all needs to come out, be scrubbed down, and reset up. And my husband has slowly taken over a huge portion of it. A lot of it is storage that needs to be weeded through. Do we need it? Do we need to pass it on? Especially as our daughter moves out to a mini house, we can kind of restock her. Just things like that. And so it's the left side, the right side, and then the floor of that closet, the top shelf, which ironically has like little storage boxes of things we brought back from China. 22 years ago. So I need to kind of clean that out. And I looped in with this, the hall closet. The hall closet's the same thing. It all has shelves. It really was a coat closet that the previous people converted or somebody converted. And so it has all of just miscellaneous stuff. And I'd really love for that to be my storage for all of my appliances, but my appliances are in the armoire for now. Extra appliances. So right now it has linens, it has, vitamins, medications, and then just weird storage, like, extra paper bags when you come back from the grocery store, just weird stuff that needs to be gutted. I don't think it's only been gutted once in all these years because I just go through a shelf at a time, but I need to take everything out, sort through it, keep, donate, give away, toss. And that's just where I'm at. All right, so the next thing I have down are the gardens. The gardens here are a big part of our home. We have gardens on our porch. We have gardens down below our porch that we converted. It was a huge flower bed. We took it all out, and except for a small little pathway of hedges between the actual brick wall of the porch, and then there were a row of hedges so you can walk through there to cut through. It is filled with plants. Now we have a sitting area in that area as you come down off the porch. We put in, crushed granite. It looks lovely. We have beautiful big pots. We have all of that. And then with pretty flowers and some things I plant in there that we're going to eat. Borage is it's a flower, but you can also eat the leaves. And let's see, what else do I have? Basils, echinacea, calendula. I'm trying to grow down there. It's not really doing it, but we may be so hot that, the seeds can't handle it. So we'll see. I'm always surprised that when I plant seeds like that, they don't come up the first year, but they come up the second. I don't know how that works. I'm sure because of the type of weather that we're having. Anyways, and then we have the bucket garden is what we call it. Next to that, it took over part of that flower bed. And that flower bed, the reason we took it out, we saved a lot of the flowers and the bushes and whatnot. Most of it was just poorly planted by the previous owners. And it was very badly planted. And it became where rattlesnakes would go. And I couldn't have that. I almost stepped on one. It went across the pathway, etc. So, and I don't think the rattlesnakes like the granite. It's not smooth, but I don't know. We don't seem to have snakes in that area now, thank God. But I could be proven wrong tomorrow. You know what I mean? Or today. So then we have the bucket garden, which is one that I primarily, I planted. I've got okra. I've got squash. I've got various squashi. I've got beets, and I've got, which are getting ready to all be picked. And then I'll put in only radishes and carrots. And then I've got cucumbers and all kinds of crazy cucumbers and all kinds of crazy squash and things that are just unique. And then I've got, I think I've got Armenian cucumbers. I just want to try all these different things. I tried some last year. We're repeating that. And then I have some more squash that are more what I think of you would find in Mexico. Um, and then I've got tons of chard, tons of basil, tomatoes. Trying to think what else. I've got some elderberry started there. I don't know if it's ever going to start, but we'll see. And I have those in buckets, which I really wanted those in my ground, and my husband would not make a decision. I will eventually reorder, and I will plant along the fence line, and that's what I'm going to do. And elderberry I've got 2 pots on the porch that I've had going for like 3 or 4 years, and they are just now starting to take off. So it's just one of those patience games when you put them in a pot, I think, and especially down here with our heat. Tons of beautiful flowers, zinnias, all that planted everywhere, nasturtiums, all that. And we eat the nasturtiums flowers and leaves. They're fantastic. Tons of herbs, tons of herbs, tons of herbs. And then we have the gardens along the driveway that are these huge 6-foot round beds that are raised beds. And we probably have, I was trying to think and count the other day, we have probably close to a dozen. In one of them, we just set up redworms in, and then one of them, and we're in the process of trying to work with the people who sent them to us. They did not come. I ordered 1,000, and we in no way got 1,000. And because I was sick, I didn't have a sense of smell. Evidently, you smell when they're not, when they've died in transit. So, anyways, but we'll see. It looks like we have a couple of worms that made it. So first comes first, we have 2 worms, and Mama Bear and Papa Bear need to make a lot more baby worms. So anyways, and I don't know if they break and reproduce that way. I need to read how red worms reproduce. But anyways, they get tons of scraps in there too, fruit and vegetable scraps. And then just all along the walkway of the driveway, we've got sweet potatoes growing like crazy. We have residual sweet potatoes that showed up where my husband dug them up last year and they missed them. So, hey, we'll take it again. And what else do we have? We have every tomato under the sun. I'm not kidding you. We got every flavor there is. Now, the heat is going to be really hard on those this year. So, I think we're going to have to do a second planting, take out what dies. We already had one day on the porch when I was sick, which I've never lost a tomato on the porch, but other people were watering, and that's going to happen. And there's basil in the pot. I mean, it's not like there's nothing else that'll grow. And I cut it back, hoping it will come back, but we'll see. And then, goodness gracious. Then we have tons of herbs, tons and tons of herbs. We have all kinds of herbal flowers like tansy, I think it's blue tansy. We've got yarrow. We've got golly, everything, chamomile, you can think of everything. Marigold, we've got everything. Dandelions. They all have a job in our house, and it's so hot here. I've never had this happen. My lemon bulb went to seed down there, and I think what I'm going to do is cut it back, dry out the seeds, and I'll keep those for next year, and then let it fully bloom, trim it, let those seeds go to, to let it go to seed, and then I will, cut that, bring it in, let it dry, and I'll save those seeds, and then I'll just see if the plant will regrow again, because if you cut it back, it'll come back. And just like any mint. And so lemon balm is part of the mint family. And then we've got strawberries, which my sweet family did not waterline, and they are not doing great. And then all my onions and garlic are in those, and I kind of got onto my family that they weren't being honest with me. They didn't waterline that. They didn't waterline my herbs. And so those are starting to feel stressed, and hence one's going to seed so quickly. So when I was sick, I was really sick, guys. And so they'll be hopefully waterlining the porch, my 2 strawberries, and any other. I want the worms waterlined. I want everything waterlined. It's so hot. And I know it's so much work for them, but my husband keeps saying, it's not a big deal. We just add on one little thing. And I'm like, okay, then add it on, So anyways, and then we have another whole pasture garden behind the cottage. And it's big. It's big. It's a lot of bucket and raised bed gardens. And we also have what are called big old molasses tubs that are also in my bucket garden. They are from molasses that's given to the cattle in the field, and people turn those buckets back in and they give them to us for free. And this year, I believe we got a dozen of those for free, which is crazy when you think about they will last for a really long time. So we just drilled holes in the bottom and filled them with good soil, and there we go. And so, anyway, so we've got all that. And then we have dozens upon dozens of fruit trees everywhere. Lemon, oranges, um, I almost said strawberries, lemon, oranges, nectarines, tons of peaches, every variety you can think of, even donut peaches. We've got plums, we've got apples, pears. We also have what we called a pear apple that was here when we got here, and it's kind of a cross between a pear and an apple. And in the beginning, it was extremely prolific. If I get, we'll eat some that we get this year, and then I will make vinegar out of the rest. And then let's see. And that's what I would say when you start doing and processing all these fruits and vegetables, make shrubs, make vinegars, make all kinds of things that you can do. And it may not be strong enough acidic level vinegar, to use in place of vinegar, but it's great for cleaning. It's great for washing your hair. It's great for all kinds of things. And that's free cleaner. That's free cleaner because I do vinegar and water and essential oils to clean with. So it's free cleaner. And those are your scraps. So, and then we also have endless grapes. We will process grapes this year. We have not only tons of Mustang grapes, we also that grow wild here in Texas, and we have a crazy amount of that. And then we have a lot that my husband grows, and so we will make grape juice out of that. And and I use grape juice for a lot of things. I use grape juice in shrubs. I use grape juice in just lots of different things that we can. I'll condense it down and can make grape jelly. There's all kinds of things that you can do with grape juice. I can make grape juice ice cream or slushes. I know it sounds weird, ice cream, but if you use like a nut milk, it's not bad. So anyways, there's things like that. So I have things listed here that have to be done. So that's kind of my overall thing for the gardens. I started to put dehydrate here and harvest and all of that. And then I decided, no, it needs its own little area. So I did food preservation. So some of the ways that we will preserve the food is we will freeze it. We will dehydrate it. We will ferment it. We will, can it. We will, there is just a long line. I now yesterday got I ordered 6 wire hangers with 10 little clips on each one. And I literally in the window right there, never have I done this before in my parlor, but I will be hanging them all over my house and dehydrating as much as possible because we need to not use as much electricity here in Texas right now. So to run my big dehydrator needs to be safe for the big things, like if I dehydrate tomatoes, if I dehydrate peppers, if I dehydrate all kinds of things. And yes, I can hang peppers to dehydrate, but sometimes they'll get moldy, so you have to be careful of that. Now, as dry as we are this year, I don't know if we'll have that problem, but have to be careful. The last thing is Renovations and Declutter, and that has just a big place here because we live in a 1938 farmhouse. We need to do some major renovations. When my parents became so ill, it took us our focus off of. We've needed a new roof for almost the whole time we've been here. We had hail damage within the first few years. We never had it re-roofed. Now that the prices are through the roof, so to speak, I wish we'd have done it. But if we're going to stay here, I want a tin roof. My husband doesn't want a tin roof. He likes the anonymity of where we live, but soon that anonymity is going to be gone. As they sell off all the pasture land around us, there's going to be a huge apartment complex going in close by. We hear across the road. We are down a road, but it's going to be here. And our road that our house is on has a little cut through, so people will be taking that cut through all day long when they know it's there. We know it. And then when one gentleman passed away right here, but his son has the property, praise God, they're just still running cattle. The other one is still alive. I imagine the agreement is when one dies, the other one waits, and then they go in together and do a massive sale to some kind of company. The gentleman that had his property next door, one of his son that I've ever dealt with is an attorney. So we've asked to buy land from them for years. I will again ask him again, but I'm sure the land's going to be worth a fortune and we can't afford it. So we'll see. We'll see. Once we do that, we'll go ag exempt. We'll get an ag exemption if we can with everything we're growing, everything that we raise. Yeah, we don't have enough land to be ag exempt. We were told we did. It was not a very good realtor. She kind of turned out to be, bless her heart, kind of a goofy person. So, so now I've done these. These are kind of like my project planners. And then what I do is I just write out, like for today, I'm working on processing all the produce that came in my Walmart order last night. So I've got a pineapple to cut up. I've got some apples I want to get probably washed and put away. But in the meantime, I'm going to clear out all the apples that are older and start chopping those up and cooking those down and making like stewed apples, things like that. And then, because my husband loves stewed apples. My daughter doesn't, but my husband does. So, and then I, did things like tea. And here, tea is a big deal. My husband's a huge tea drinker, so am I. I drink at least a 30 some odd ounce every day. My husband drinks hot tea all day. I don't. I drink cold. So I always make sure that we have tons of tea, and we do loose leaf teas. So it's not as easy as like opening a jar and pouring it in. You kind of have to take your time and get it all done right and time it and all that good stuff. And that's how I got tea in here because I wasn't paying attention. My bedroom, I've got to run get my shower, and then I've got to, after I finish all my videos, and I'm cooking lunch right now. My daughter started it for me. I've got a big vat of organic potatoes going, and so we'll have baked potatoes today. Maybe tomorrow we'll slice them up and put cheese on them. We call them our cheese rounds with a little bit of either, vegetarian bacon or I love chives or onions on it. I love lots of chives and onions. So that will be another meal. Usually that's a brunch meal for us. Sometimes we eat it for lunch or dinner. It's good. And then lastly, then they'll go and become mashed potatoes at the very end. So so that should be on the list because that's a part of the day, because then I also have to process them and get them set up for the various meals because I do a big bag of potatoes. And then if I have time today, I will work on setting up a ferment for my Swiss chard. I've got a couple of recipes I want to try. I want to do the stalks, and then I want to do the greens. And I learned that on Doug and Stacy, plus some things I'm reading. So, and then I've been working on fermented shrubs. So every day I make sure I check on those, give them a good, shake. One of them is ready to be taken up and can start being consumed. My husband he has gotten better. I want to say thank you to everyone. Last night today's Thursday, I did not get the video up yesterday for the Bible journaling because we were dealing with my husband, and I apologize. So today I will get that videoed and hopefully get it up today, and this will go up Friday. All right, guys. And then I have my list for tomorrow. Things I have I have my checkup in the other town. We were supposed to pick up Sam's today. I didn't coordinate that right. My daughter's in that town, but she's not going to get done till late tonight. So I said, forget it. I'll call them, and they're graciously holding back. We have 2 small orders, and I said, could you please hold my pickup tomorrow? And she said, yeah, no problem. And then tomorrow we pick up, our prescriptions. So at the pharmacy. So it's a basic, go through. Now, one thing I am going to do, I've always been a check off or cross out person. I have recently been watching all these people that use highlighters, and you know what? It dawned on me. The reason this doesn't always work for me is I want to see color. I want to see it light up off the page. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start using, as these things get done in both of these things, these devices, I am going to just use a highlighter and highlight when it is completed. So there's just some ideas. This was $3, or you can make it yourself. And for any of us that donate to various ministries or whatnot, or charities, you get blank pads sent all the time. And sometimes they're smaller, they're this size or smaller, but that works too. That totally works. I'm just using what I have in my stash. And I may even go on, I think I'm going to put the rest of Friday, and then I like to make notes on the side, like I learned this with that, I learned that with this, and then if I feel like it's something noteworthy, I'll come back in here and write it down. But this is what I carry around. This is what stays in my planning area. This is what I carry. This is my to-do list. So these are really good things to have. These are good things to keep. Now, I'm not giving up my planner, because planners are good. Planners are good, but this is something I'm going to use this summer, see how I like it. I used to do a lot of project planning. Ironically, my husband is certified project manager, and I didn't learn a thing from him. I learned it from YouTube. So, but I like project planning. It's something that I really, really enjoy. I like long-term planning. I used to sit down and do a book for the whole year. I still have those books. I keep them because I go back to them and refer back to them because they're broken down by areas within the house and just different projects I was involved in. And there's still good things on those lists that I need to go back and take a good look at. So anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I immensely am enjoying just the ease, the ease of just writing a list for the day. Not having to do a whole lot of other things, just writing a list. And that works well for me. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. $3. I'm thinking these are no more than $2 or $3 or something like it at Dollar General. And if I didn't get these for free, again, I get those things for free in the mail. And then Jot, that is Dollar Tree. It's now $1.25. And honestly, if you have some of the old ones, like I have some fluorescent orange ones that I thought, oh, should I cut those up or these up? And I thought, well, this is easy, but next time I'll probably just use the ugly orange ones and cut off the orange. I don't even know why I bought orange, but I don't know, maybe I didn't. Maybe somebody else did. Anyways, so, all right, friends, I hope this encourages you to make a plan. And life isn't always about those plans following through. Golly, the month of May was completely lost for me. Completely lost for me. But God worked on my heart in other ways. And that was a blessing. A lot in that month. So that was great. I see that as the glass half full. But as far as like actual getting physical work done by me, it just didn't happen. It did not happen. That's why the house is so far behind right now. So, and all my videos are behind. So I'm going to spend today filming and uploading and then, getting all this out of my house. And so back in circulation. All right, friends, I pray your day is blessed, creative, and lovely. So that goes on my filming and this here. It helps you get organized, right? But I pray your day, again, blessed, creative, and lovely. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Tell me what is your best organizational tips. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. There'll be a lot of things coming this summer. Like I said, the channel's going to take a bit of a turn, and I'm hoping you're ready for it because it's going to be a fun. I'm excited. I'm so excited right now. But anyways, it's a good time. It's a good time. All right, friends. Love you. Be safe. I'll be talking to you soon. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.